Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith of the Black Channel here, Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report, and we got a nice little beatdown to start off the day. So, here's one of the things that we can take a look at here. What happened? And so, what happened was, have we talked about these types of reversals? Millions of times, right? Okay, so the good thing is you didn't have a gap. So if you go to the daily upper left, the SPY, did I say if we're not going down until we get a reversal, right? What does a reversal look like? Taking out a previous high and then taking out a previous low right there. So you see that on the S&P Spider. No gap, so plenty of time to grab that below 350, 343. Hugo Rama and comes back through all this stuff. So what you're going to see now is when we keep as we continue into the new month, we want to be able to look to see, are we closer to reversals and what continuity do we have. And what I mean by that is what direction is the price going from the opening. And next week we'll have that separate opening. Well, we'll already have separate openings, but then we'll have another week to see if we can get a reversal on the weekly. We got the daily, right? And now you got to see this going red on the weekly, now red on the monthly. So if you're going to be an outside bar, you'd have to go red first, right? Okay, so now what you're going to see here is we're going to kind of disseminate the puke. And what I mean by that is now that we've gotten hit, almost a lot of things going inside of the 60. You see this lower left? We want to see either side of the 60. How are you going to get outside of this big bar, first of all? And we wanted to see if anybody could recover out of this or if they still get hit. So if you go to QQQ, you'll see this. Also inside 60 and getting closer to doing that because right now they're still hitting some of this tech and some of this biotech stuff that I'll get to in a second. Well, once again, here, upper middle, upper left, it didn't gap. It didn't gap through here, right? That's what we want to do is take these levels out because anybody who's got these stops in here are a bunch, all this stuff, and we call that the pivot machine gun to come. And right now, trying to go inside 60 down for a 212 continuation is the cues. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, you're going to see this. A little firmer inside there. So when the volatility spikes like this, you oftentimes get a lot of charts that all look like the futures, right? And then we disseminate, is anybody recovering or is anybody, falling apart with them? And then do we get another simultaneous break of all these 60s in the same direction? Here's the small cappers. Nowhere near that just yet, but that could change. It's like the puke side is really nice. And then here, just a little example of how when things occurs matters. So here, Coop. So Coop, you can see this thing falling apart this morning. And here, if you go to the 15-minute, when things occurs matter. If you're going to try and bottom pick stuff, right, you want to have a reversal. This is an inside bar, right? And then this is the hammer, and then boom, right back through. And the reason that works, right, so anybody tight short stops, take care of them. Then you can take it back down here. This is a 2-2 reversal back down to 15, right? And the reason this timing is so important on this is when it occurred, right at the bottom of the hour. You see that? Right there is when them selling computers turned right off. That was the low tick, and then boom, now you got a new 60, right? So we're watching to see these cues here starting to teeter here on the inside 60 down, all right? So because there's a lot of weakness over there. If you go to like DOCU here, now you can see this inside 60 to the downside going 212 for the next hour here below 229.87. You're there. Also, if you look at the daily, there's your 2-2 reversal up there, right? And if you go to the 15-minute, this was absolutely gorgeous right here. Inside 15, right here below 243.01. Trading 228.49 and it already puked all down here now. How's that 30 looking? Looks like, just trying to take that. We'll see if it takes the 60 with these Qs. Q's starting to accelerate again here. There you go. Inside 30 and down. Boom. Thank you, measured mover. So one of the things you do want to do if you're trying to go long here right now is not the best idea, but anybody taking out yesterday's highs, and we had IONS for a while here, now starting to fade a bit as the market stays heavy, right? Here you can see it upper middle, inside, and then down, RevStrat to the upside. Now it's backing off with the market. So should the market start to firm up or RevStrat these 60s or start to go back up, that's the kind of stuff you look for because now they're starting to simultaneous break. You got SPY taking the 60. So you want to see if they can all do it. And if they all do it, you got problems. Diamonds coming in now too and small cappers. There you go. Now, small cappers got some distance, but right now, simultaneous break to the downside on the 60s. We'll see how powerful this is. If we look at, let's There's a couple of these guys who are trying to stay firm here. VRA, SCVL, because the pukin's really the flavor. SCVL, and you can see this upper left. Anybody taking out the highs and going into the highs, these guys are bumming. They got what they wanted. The market's tanking, right? But their stock's going up. So anybody short here is going to be scrambling. So OIH, strange bedfellows here. OIH still tried to stay green on the day, not doing too much. But it is, and if you see like stuff like this here, the inside 30 back up. But like I said, now you got everything tanking again, or at least creaking and going towards the low. So let's have more fun with that stuff. ZM. And ZM, here's what you look for, right? When it was taking out yesterday's lows, coming back into the gap, and you go to the 15-minute, once again, the setup that we're looking for. The inside bar on the 15 pokes up, and then boom, rev stratum right back down through here, right? Below 398.41, still puking, right? Now you can see if you get them 60s like everybody else. Still inside on the 60, so we'll see if that breaks. If you go to AVGO, here, upper left, didn't gap, and goes here, below 363.56, trading 353, still going. So we'll see if that sets up again. So we want to look for the Nasdaq. You can look at SMH here on the 60, pokes down, doesn't fall apart. IBB here, so they poke down a little bit, but don't fall apart. All right, trying to firm up just a tad, keeping an eye on them. All right, so what also can occur here is you get the multiple bar pattern, where you take this out, but you don't take this mother bar out. Then you're going to have price discovery start all over again, right? And so what we'll do is we'll keep disseminating that. And what I mean by that is seeing anybody who can take out yesterday's highs, right, when this market firms up, and then anybody's taking out the morning lows as it comes back and forth. They started out with some pandemics too. United Airlines, right now going inside and up on the 60. And you can see that was an inside day to the upside upper left. Right, it's green on all time frames, believe it or not. So the airline's trying to firm up. I know Boeing was trying to before, but now stuck inside on the 60. If we go to Netflix, and Netflix gives us the inside day 212. Right, didn't gap either. Puke. Now you can see if this thing sets up again. Wasn't strong enough to stay inside on the 60. SCVL going to the highs in this. If we got let's see, how about Marvell? So SMH, look at this. SMHers all doing this. The 2 up, the 2 down, and wipe out. Now we'll see if it takes the 60 down. Not totally falling apart, but we'll see. You've got SWKS here. SWKS, and you can see this. The 2 up, boom, back to the previous range. And so the hopes is, if you look like so, you're going to notice the broadening formation like so, to come ripping through here. Remember, all the stops are going to go here, 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 wipe them out. Watching that with the SMH, of course. Then Corvo. Didn't gap either, all right? Boom, and this change went to an outside week in the upper middle, and changed into full time frame continuity to the downside, red on all time frames when it came back through here. And you can see this previous range, takes them all out in one shot. Of course, you're going to be weak enough for all that. Going to watch that with the Qs and watch it with the SMHer. ZS. So many good pukers to go after here. ZS, once again, just want you to be able to see the 2-2. Higher high, then boom, back through. If we go to some of the bio here, Alexion. And Alexion gives you the inside day and down, so we'll see if that sets up again. It's countering the week, but we'll see because we're watching it with the IBB again. IBB still poking down on that 60. And you can see just missing inside day, I believe. Back to the previous range, right? Now turning everything red on the IBB. That's a problem. You got ALNY coming in here. And ALNY still puking. And remember, we knew about this last month because of the lower middle. The 2-2 reversal on the monthly coming back into an old 3. Right, so ALNY, we're looking to come take these guys out. If you go broadening formation style like so, you still might have some meat on them bones. Come down through something like that. An ALNY, BIIB here. BIIB, you can see this on the daily. Right, does this, pokes up, slight higher high, and then boom, right back through these guys, right into here. And that's setting up potentially outside weak to the downside. And if it goes, then you go to the monthly. Here's that inside bar. There's that poke up. That would be a RevStrat downside below 274.42. So you got a little bit more room on that if they keep hitting that. If you go to Adobe. And Adobe, once again, up here, slight higher high. Boom. 2-2 reversal back through all these guys. Now we'll see if that's weak enough. A lot of these things just ticking down a little bit on the 60, but not falling apart as now. Keeping an eye on my things here. EXPI, how you doing, buddy? There's a 3-2 to the downside coming back into an old range. We'll see. Here you can see this one taking hold on the 60. The down, inside, down. So far, Autodesk. And Autodesk pokes down a little bit on this, but once again, you can see this. The up, boom, 2-2 reversal, didn't gap. Plenty of time to hit that right here. 254.15. Qdel. QDEL not falling apart but doing its job. And what I mean by that is this setup here. The outside day, the inside day. 3-1-2. Right? So the magnitude on that is to take out this high or that high, because these guys were willing to pay up over the previous range and sell down, then meet back in the middle, then they're going to take another shot at it, which they did and took this out here. 156.02, not totally falling apart. We'll see if we can re-break that going forward. We've got Teradyne Semi. Look at that. Boom. And the good part about that is now you have your 2-2 reversal on the month. That was an up and then down, right? Now, it did its job to take this out and become an outside bar of that, but you're also taking out last month's weekly low, right? Last weekly low. So we'll see if that can continue. You can watch that, of course, with NASDAQ and the SMH Semi. If we go to Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree here, you can see the daily was an inside day and then it went up. As soon as this goes red, we're looking to go outside day. 1 bar rest at 1.3, right? Boom, because if that works, or you always want to be forward thinking, if that works, you're going to take out this outside week to the downside here, right? And if that works, you're going after the monthly with the inside month, the Fokker up, the RevStrat month are here to kick in below this. 92.74, you're getting there in Dollar Tree. PAYC. Okay. ALNY goes to the lows as I speak. PAYC, you can see this broadening formation here, higher highs, and now boom, ripping right through all this stuff, right? I can't stress this kind of stuff enough to you. Coming back through a previous range, especially when all time frames are red, and you attempted to take out that here, high on the inside month, and then you go all red. Because when you, once again, when you come back to the previous range and all things are red, that means you've got natural sellers in there and potentially stops going off to accelerate it. And that's why you see these violent moves coming back through, like so. If we go to VeriSign, VRSN, look at this. Boom, right there, your 2-2 coming ripping back through, right? Okay, so we're running out of time again. I could sit here all day, but you know, basically right now you're going to keep an eye on this in the futures. How things act versus this stuff. How do we get out of here? Just mother bar is what we call this here. How do all these broader averages, what does it look like? Do they continue to break on these 60s? Do they have any higher highs? Right now, small cappers trying to be the stabilizing strength, but still backing off here. So just keeping an eye on the motion of the ocean. New highs or new lows in these 60s, and right now, they still tanking. Once again, all my videos, and I go through a lot of this stuff every night, and all this stuff on my channel here at Ticker Talker. Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker. All right, that's going to do it for today. Nice smackdown right now. Keeping an eye on these 60s because they're still trying to go inside 60 down as I speak. It's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker at the Strat Time Report.